Hey, hi everyone. This is Ranmay here on your show E-Coffee with Experts. Today we have Alex Lloro with us, who is the founder and managing director at All Marketing Services. Welcome, Alex, to our show.
Thank you so much, Romai, for having me.
Great. Alex, before we move any forward and talk about your journey, I request you to introduce yourself and All Marketing Services to our audiences.
Sure. So I'm Alex Lloro. I've been in the digital marketing space almost forever. I designed my first web page in 1995. So it's been 28 years ago. I've been always related to the internet world, first more on the IT side of the business. And since 2000 marketing, I created my first agency in Spain in 2008. And I moved to the US in 2013.
Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. You did mention you started way back. So, with over 25 years of experience in the digital marketing space, undoubtedly, you must have witnessed so many significant transformations in the digital marketing landscape. Could you please share a few key milestones from your past experiences and those game changing moments in the digital marketing industry?
Obviously, in the last 28 years, it has changed a lot, but let's focus on, because we do a lot of advertising. We focus on advertising, Google ads mainly, but also social media advertising, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Experience of Google AdWords, currently Google Ads in 2000 was well, big moment in the digital marketing space. It has changed. Right in that moment, it was just a small box on the right. Right now, advertising is almost the first page of Google is full of advertising on the maps, Google ads, local service ads. You don't see organic results. Then you have to go and scroll down because above the fold is everything about the app. So that started around 2000. So that was a big moment, but I guess that the most relevant moment was 2007, the appearance of the iPhone.
Yeah.
iPhone changed everything. We used to work with big screens, and right now, most people do everything from their iPhone, even having meetings, scheduling calls, buying things. People don't use a computer, maybe for working on your office or maybe on your home office, but you spend 3, 4 hours a day with your iPhone or your Android, whatever you're using.
Yeah.
That was a very significant moment for sure. And also the blooming of social networks a couple of years after. Of course, they saw that Google was making money through ads. So they decided that they had to launch also ads on those social networks of Facebook ads, then Insta, LinkedIn. So for us, those have been great. And obviously AI is changing the space. You have a ton of ads that are simplifying the life of marketers and companies in general. Right now, it's much easier to create the skeleton, at least, of a good landing page. If you just provide some good inputs for your ads, if you have to prepare a presentation, that's ChatGPT and those AI technologies simplifying the life of everyone. We have to take advantage of that. But always we have to keep in mind that we are talking to humans, not to machines. We don't have to forget about that human touch in all the content that we create for our landing pages or our ads. And of course, the last change that I would say that is relevant is the privacy policies in Europe, or they already have a GDPR. In the US, some states are starting working on similar fields. And the problem is that every state is different. So in the next few years, we are going to have to deal with 50 different privacy laws in the US only, plus Canada, plus many other countries. So it's going to be challenging. And obviously, the third party cookies is going to be another challenge in the next couple of years.
True. True. You didn't mention about AI. What is your take? Interesting times, obviously, but where are we headed? You didn't mention about the end consumer is a human. You need a human touch in terms of presenting or writing that content, which I cannot agree more with. And it's there to stay. So, where do you think we are headed?
It's just, I don't think that AI is going to replace people because of that human touch that I mentioned. We still need to review. If you are working on an affiliate website and you are doing affiliate marketing and you need to generate hundreds of pages every day, AI is a huge help. And those pages are not quality. It's just about gathering information and showing that all together in a page and then the links for the affiliate sites. So maybe for affiliate marketers, we are going to see a blooming of more affiliate sites, but Google can identify those kind of sites. So if they are not giving something new, they provide a better information than others. They are going right now. You are seeing a lot of case studies on LinkedIn. How we generated 100 pages with AI and we rank on the first page of Google. Maybe you could do that right now for low tail keywords, but in the future, Google will identify that. And if you don't provide any value, any additional value that you're gathering information from different sources, those pages are not going to rank anymore. So right now we are seeing that blooming, but in a couple of years, we need to provide that human touch that will make us different. If not, every marketing agency, every plumbing website, all will be the same.
Agreed. Agreed. And you didn't mention about PPC. If I were to ask you a quick one on this, what is your take? SEO versus PPC. What do you suggest to your clients?
We stopped offering SEO a few years ago because it is complicated to manage the expectations of the clients, waiting
Takes time.
for 6 months until you
Yeah.
start ranking. And because
Absolutely.
Google is right now showing so much ads, local service, maps, regular Google ads, people don't read. You can be number 3, number 1 for a given keyword on Google, and your traffic is a third of what it used to be like 3 years ago. So that's why we decide to focus on advertising, because with ads, we can provide results from today to our clients. And we don't have to wait a few months doing a lot of work. And sometimes if your competitors are doing the same work, it's really difficult to rank those competitors. So that's why we focus on advertising.
Great. You mentioned about landing pages. Designing landing pages can be so challenging at times to strike that blend of having that content in place and also make that decision making from a consumer perspective. So could shed some light in terms of how do you balance that equation of having the right content in place, being informative, at the same time ensuring that the consumer looking at your website makes that decision to purchase the product or the service of your client?
Sure. So you have always do some research about your audience and target your audience. If you're targeting 3, 4 different audiences, you have to create a specific landing pages talking about the pain points that each of those audiences may have. Imagine that you are targeting law firms, architects, and web design companies. The needs of a web design company is completely different from a law firm. So you should create a landing page talking about the pain points that a law firm may have when acquiring clients on the internet, one for the architects, one for the web companies, and always focus on pain points and how you can solve those. Don't talk about features. Don't talk about what you do. Always talk about the problems that your potential clients may have and what they are looking for.
Absolutely. And then what are some of the common mistakes which new businesses do while creating a landing page? Let's say if they have not hired a top-notch agency?
The first, or above all, if we are talking about running advertising, the first mistake is not about landing pages because they don't have one. They send the traffic to the homepage. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that we have seen since digital advertising started. The homepage of a website is not designed to convert. Is your presentation to the world, is informative, but you are not trying to convert those people that are visiting that page. So you need, first of all, specific landing pages.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you have to target, as I mentioned before, depending on your audience. And it's not just about the content. It's about the color scheme that you may use. It's not the same if you're targeting young people that if you're targeting seniors, if you're targeting women, their mid-40s, the kind of colors that you can use, the kind of graphics that you might use are completely different. As the example of the law firms and the architects. Architects are creative, so the colors that you can use, the illustrations that you might use are more, the look and feel should be more modern, while a landing page targeting law firms, it must be more traditional. Depending on your audience, you must target that not only about the content, not about the pain points, but also colors, the kind of graphics that you're going to use, the look and feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a landing page, both the visual content and the page copy, it play a very important role in driving conversion. So what are your top tips to our audiences tonight in terms of selecting those visuals that resonate with their target audience?
Visuals are relevant, but in the end, you have to use things that are relevant to your client. And that is a war that we have between web designers and people more focused on user experience.
Yeah.
Because sometimes web designers, they want to show their company, their client, that they are very creative, and they try to overcomplicate everything. And that doesn't work. In psychology, we have Jacob's law. It was named after Jacobs Nielsen. And is if people is used to work in a given way, don't change that. And web designers, to show that creativity, try to, okay, instead of putting the logo on the top left, we are putting on the middle. Instead of a menu, we are going to have the burger on the right. On that stuff, that is a big mistake. You are adding friction. So your conversion rate is going to drop because of that, because people must realize that there is a menu that they have to click there and then find the option that they are looking for, instead of presenting that directly. On a cell phone, where your screen is, the space is much limited, it's a good practice, but not on a desktop.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the simplest design usually converts the better. If you overcomplicate it, you are adding a lot of friction, and that has a huge impact in your conversion rate. Those pages with the slides that you have to scroll and they go from left to right instead of down. Okay, they are really nice. They can win a prize, but they are difficult for the user to navigate. And until they realize how to browse that page, you're missing a lot of people. Even in our page, when a person visits your site for the first time, you have some people say 7 seconds, and that's right. It's about 7 seconds. The rational part of your brain makes a decision if they like that page, if that's the content that they see, and in 7 seconds, you don't pass the above default content. So in 7 seconds, you are making a decision if that is the right page for you or not.
Yeah.
But what many people don't know is that the irrational part of the brain needs less than 1 second to make that decision. So the rational part of the brain, in the first second, has a huge impact in the decision that the person is going to make in the next 7 seconds. So if we overcomplicate it, if we put a lot of content, different content, in 1 second, your brain gets blocked.
True.
So that's why we try to focus always on simple designs, nice designs, of course, but always trying to reduce the cognitive load that people need to use in that page to
Yeah.
take the action that you want, buy the product, send a form asking for more information, downloading a white paper, whatever the action that you want them to take on the landing page.
Yeah, I can't agree more. It's more like billboard advertising, wherein you just got those first 3, 4, 5 seconds where you're just zipping through. If it clicks, it clicks. If it does not, then you bounce off from that page, right? So it is very important, like you mentioned, a very simplistic approach in terms of what exactly do you want to present to the consumer, which has landed onto your website after putting those search terms or clicking on your ad, wherever. And those first few seconds are so crucial for any particular business. So they're very nicely mentioned. I really appreciate that. Great. Yeah. Alex, and thank you. Thank you so much for taking out time for this podcast. And we have been trying to do this for some time now. And I'm glad we did it today. And before we wrap this up, just a quick note. Where do we find you? Where our audiences find you?
Okay, you can reach to us at info@allmarketing.co, yes, .co, no M at the end, or our page. We offer a free consultation, so people can visit allmarketing.co and they can read through our webpage.
Super. Yeah. Thank you once again, Alex, for taking out time to do this. Yeah. Really appreciate it.
Sure, it was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting.
Great. Thank you.